This is Morning Juice. Sports, insight, and great storytelling. Starring Bobby Carpenter and Jeff Tito Thitoff. It's time to attack and dominate.
Attack and dominate on this Wednesday. I'm looking at the show sheet. I realize it still says January 28th on the top of it, even though it is not January 28th. That would be last Wednesday's show sheet. We're off to a great start today.
Yes, we are. Let's go.
I am Tito, Jeff Thitoff. To my left, Sean Carter, a.k.a. Jay-Z, a.k.a. Justin Zwick.
Every time I get that sheet, I have to read to see what you put in there.
Yeah, I try to get creative with that one. Can't get the damn date right. Yeah. But boy, I tell you, I got Sean Carter on the sheet, don't I? Look at that. I got the important thing done. Jay-Z, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Doing all right here this Wednesday. It felt a little warm out there as I walked from my car into the studio this morning.
Yes.
Which was relative, but...
Yeah, right, exactly. The best thing and worst thing about being on this show and being on YouTube and watching myself is the fact that I realize things about myself that I need to change. One, I still need a damn haircut. That right there.
You haven't figured that out yet?
I haven't figured it out yet. I've been neglecting it. And then two, I realized that I'm wearing a Blue Jackets. This is my favorite Blue Jackets piece of gear that I own, and it's from the All-Star Game year of 2015. So I'm wearing something 11 years old, and I wear it regularly. And I'm curious to you guys, what is the oldest piece of clothing you have that it's in your rotation? On a regular basis, you will still wear it.
In a rotation? That's
like,
tough.
I mean, this way, obviously I won't wear this in the summer because it's long sleeve. But I'm saying, like, I'll grab this. I'll wear this probably a couple of dozen times throughout the year.
I probably have a golf shirt, like a hoodie that I picked up on a golf trip somewhere years and years ago that I have. But I don't have anything that I can think of off the top of my head in the rotation that's that old. Most of the stuff that's that old doesn't fit me anymore. Like anything from back in the day, I had to give to my dad or just give away, like Ohio State stuff everywhere because it was all like double X. And I'm like, I'm swimming in this. I can't. What was I thinking back then?
There's somebody walking around with a double X Zwick shirt, doesn't even know it.
Exactly.
How about you, Bo? It's got to be a Notre Dame or a Dallas shirt or something.
Yeah, you'd be correct on that.
Thank you very much.
I don't get rid of clothes. Not like intentionally. I'm just very bad at it.
Right.
And not too long ago, though, I was going through some stuff. We'll call this, 2-3 months ago. And I haven't worn it in a while. But I tell you what, once it's warm out and I don't need to wear a hoodie in here and whatnot, I'll bust it out. I got a 2013 National Championship T-shirt. Orange Bowl bound, Notre Dame, Alabama.
Okay.
That game didn't go very well for the Irish, unfortunately.
I would have burned that one.
But listen, now, the first 12 games were so damn fun that, if you told me that was going to be the end result, regardless, I still
it was a fun ride, right?
Yes,
yeah,
hey, man, they were the
number
number
one
one team in the country. Mm-hmm. It was awesome.
Morning Juice sponsored by Riverside Bank in Dublin. 2 full hours here on YouTube, the Fan app, HD3. Download the show anytime. Catch us from 10 a.m. to noon on 10 TV Plus, and also live on Facebook and Twitter. Appreciate all of you being here today, this morning, bright and early. Dark and early. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking there. But yeah, we get the show started off by talking about old clothing and my need of a haircut. That's what Morning Juice is. We will have Mike Eruzione on with us at 7 o'clock today. The individual from the USA hockey team back in 1980 scored the game-winning goal against those damn Soviets. I think that's right. They're not Soviets anymore. They're just Russians now. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah,
Soviets gone.
Yeah, early 90s, right?
So we can still say damn Soviets, not offend anybody.
Go
sure,
for it.
Yeah. You're probably not offending anybody listening to this show. I'd say that.
Wait till I walk outside after the show. We'll see who I offended. Jackets, and also Austin Ward at 7:25. That's a great way to do it, like the old the Wham reference we make. Where it's George Michael and by the way, Andrew Ridgely is also going to be on the show. It's Mike Eruzione and then Austin Ward. Jackets beat New Jersey last night 3-0.
Was that 10 in a row?
6 in a row
on the road.
10 and 11.
Maybe 6 in a row on the road. You might right that. Yeah, they got the Blackhawks here tonight. Big one. Hell of a way to go into the break. They get a win there before the Olympics get going. OSU at Maryland Thursday. The men are there. OSU women, number 9 in the country, at Washington Thursday. James Harden traded for Darius Garland.
Is he playing tonight?
They play against each other tonight.
So walk
I
across
gotta
the
believe
hall.
they will. Right?
I don't see why not.
I mean, he's been off the last couple of days for personal reasons.
Yeah, which is completely
They've been going through this
to the trade. Yeah. Now Garland's still banged up. I think
he is still banged up.
He would play, but
I would think Harden want to get out there and play.
Why not?
Well, I mean, we're probably paying him a lot of money, so you might as well put him out there. And
See, but that's the reason that's the reason he got traded, was because he wants to make more money. He's got another year left, I think, on this deal.
Good for
next
him.
year, and he wants an extension, and the Clippers wouldn't give it to him.
How much? Who's
Who's going to give it to him? He's pretty old, isn't he?
He's 37 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to give him an extension?
I
don't
bet.
know.
I would say his salary is probably somewhere in the $50 million range.
Give me a career earnings.
Career earnings for him, I will say $480 million.
$650.
411.
411. Okay.
Now after
Underpaid.
he'll be at 450 if
Right.
he plays. Well, he's scheduled to make 42 million next year.
Next year, yeah.
We'll see what happens with the extension, but
There's like
he's going to cross the 450, and
then
I think he could get to 500.
so it's going to be. I think $14 million of his salary next year is guaranteed. So we'll see what happens with that. But the Cavs got much older. Don't know if they probably got better, I guess. If Harden plays today and Garland doesn't, Cavs won the trade so far.
Yeah, there you go. Hey.
So, yeah, Cavs and Clippers tonight. And this snuck by yesterday. In the next couple of years in Columbus, first of all, next year, 2027, Nationwide Arena is hosting the Women's Final Four. Big deal.
It is a big deal.
Then in 2028, whatever the hell they call the stadium where the Crew play now, it's got a weird name, I think, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's
Oh, I
is it
just
Miracle
read it.
Grow?
Yeah, Miracle
or something?
Grow, yes.
Yeah.
Miracle Grow is going to
Is
host.
it still lower.com stadium?
I don't know.
so.
No,
This-
I'm
no,
Yeah,
not-
well,
I'm
the article had it. It didn't say anything about
You know, somebody in the chat will let us know. Of course, if anybody's listening to the fan and not listening to, if you're a soccer fan, you're probably listening to T-Bone over there talk about soccer almost every segment. Just kidding. Anyway, Olympic soccer games being held there.
How about it?
Who do you play for?
That's exactly.
And they're like important games too, I think, right? Like
this
right
one
before the
counts.
finals. I mean,
It's the finals. The biggest ones are going to be at the Rose Bowl still, like when the medal matches and stuff like that. But there'll be some big ones here though, and a couple things that I'm fearful of. One I shouldn't be fearful of. One I should be. One is just the impact on traffic. That's how old I am. I'm like, God, what's going to happen now?
Probably not affecting us, at least.
It shouldn't. And the other one shouldn't affect us either if we're still doing this show, is my fear of somebody of significance doing something significant that has a misbalance of vowels and consonants in their name that I have to say on the air. Like somebody with like a 6-vowel run, like a B, and then another like 6 vowels, or the other way around. 6 consonants, a vowel, then 6 more consonants, and me having to pronounce it on the air.
just throw the first name out.
just-
if you can do that one.
What I'm going to need is nicknames.
Yeah, there
like
you
for the
go.
longest time, I called him the Greek Freak because I wasn't going to say Antetokounmpo, and I still can't say it right.
Have you seen the Chance the Rapper SNL skit where he's like the rinkside reporter for hockey?
No.
It's pretty funny, and
I'll
he's
check
down
it
there,
out.
and at one point he kind of mentions, he's like, so and so scored. He's like, their last name has no vowels in it, so I can't say it. It's pretty good.
By the way, let's see. Shadow of Shoe said he has a 45-year-old North Face down jacket.
No, that's
Now, Bobby has a North
Must be
Face
a hell of a
jacket that
jacket.
he had back in college that I know he still wears. So he would have had a good answer for that one.
the bag he uses every day too. Looks like it's been
Yeah,
through,
it has been through some, yes.
It's seen
Yeah,
some
yeah.
stuff.
Also, Ronnie says I still have an Ashworth quarter zip shirt jacket from the Open from 2006. That's 20 years old. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I would guess a lot of that stuff, though, is coats or
Yeah.
sports related.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Just two things you're kind of like, you don't wear a coat all year round. So by the time you realize you need to get a new one, you just start wearing that one during winter. And then sports stuff is kind of like, I'll always keep that shirt even if I don't wear it.
right.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like,
right.
hey,
Just, yeah,
man,
that's what it is. Yeah.
piece of history.
Just remember the good old days.
We had some Buckeye-ish on Buckeye-ish crime last night. I don't know if you guys caught this or not. I'm sure you know. Who am I telling? Of course you guys caught this. NFC beat the AFC 66-52 in the
Was that last night?
in the third. Apparently, Justin didn't watch it. Of course, neither did I. The third Pro Bowl flag football game, and it was sealed when Antoine Winfield Jr.,
Okay.
whose dad played for Ohio State, picked off a pass by Joe Burrow, who was here for a hot minute. So, that's what sealed the game. Do you know who your offensive MVP was, Bodie?
Not a
Shador
clue.
Sanders.
There's no sound in the system from the Pro Bowl. Okay, you've
There's
obviously
not.
failed your job. George Pickens.
Oh, nice. Okay. You know what? Hey, contract year.
Right, hey, just so you know.
You guys check out that flag football game I had. Let's go.
3 catches,
That's gotta be
39
worth an
yards.
extra 100
3 for 39 to
couple
touchdown. So there we go. Garen's got a jacket from the mid-90s. Good for him. All right, Bodie, make us smarter.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Bobby
Bobby Wells.
Carpenter.
All right, fellas. Happy Wednesday.
There we go.
Wednesday.
Just on the show, you don't tell you what day it is.
Happy Wednesday the 28th.
Exactly. February 4th, 2026, the 35th day of the year. Kevin Durant. We have
35. Right? Wasn't yesterday 34? I thought you said, what yesterday, Paul
You
Pierce?
said 35.
Yeah,
Okay,
I thought,
Pierce was yesterday, right? 34.
Yeah,
Okay,
yep.
yes, you're right.
35th
You're
day
right.
of the year.
I'm a shot.
330 days left here in this 2026. Starting with some events all the way back. How about this one? 1789. The first U.S. Electoral College chooses George Washington as the president of the United States. John Adams, his vice president there, and then he would win the next election and become the second president. 1849. Big Ten country here. University of Wisconsin begins. One room, 20 students. It's
Really?
gotten a little bit bigger since then, but
D3.
there you go.
8-man football.
In 1865, Robert E. Lee is named General-in-Chief of the Confederate Forces. Boo.
How'd that work out for you?
Another one here that, well, unfortunately, this one in the end didn't work out so well for this guy, but he had quite a run. I guess you can give him that. In 1938, Adolf Hitler seizes control of the German army and puts Nazis in key posts. Not a fun one there, but more lighter note here.
God, I hope so. Can't get much darker than that one, voting, please.
In 1956, the American League plans to test automatic intentional walks during spring training. I would imagine that went into, what's the word there? Went into action shortly
effect.
thereafter, if I had to guess.
What year was it?
1956.
The automatic intentional walk?
They
felt like
started
that just
using
happened
it
in, like, the
spring
2000s.
training.
Spring training, yeah, but it didn't start till just recently, though.
In
really?
like the actual games,
yeah,
right?
the actual games.
That's what I thought. I was going to say it was like
actual
2010 or
games,
something
it
like
was
that.
very,
Really?
even sooner than that, I bet. Yeah, where you could just wave them on.
I did not know that. All right.
Oh, and by the way, Don Drysdale, old pitcher for the Dodgers back in the 50s and 60s, a really good pitcher. He had a clause in his contract where if he stayed below a certain number of walks, he would get a bonus. And so if he ever got to 3-0 on a hitter, he would plunk him because it didn't count as a walk in his contract. So
nice.
he'd go inside on him and
Very good.
knock him on his butt.
1969, some NFL news here. John Madden is named the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. 1977, some music news. The 11th studio album by Fleetwood Mac is released. That would be the Rumors album.
We get to sing this one.
Sounded great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes. That's what people tune in for.
I mean,
Tito,
I couldn't tell which was the song and which was
I'm with you.
Tito
I know.
there.
Close your eyes.
Golly, I know.
Is that Lindsey Buckingham or is that Tito?
Some more music. 1 year later, in 1978, the Bee Gees kicked off a 4-week run atop the top of the Billboard Hot 100 chart with "Staying Alive."
No way in hell. That's how you do CPR. Right, buddy?
Michael Scott.
Dwight.
Yeah.
1987. How about this one? The Sacramento Kings score only 4 points in a first quarter game against the LA Lakers. That is the fewest in a period since the introduction of the 24-second shot clock back in 1954. I looked it up. They were outscored. Not only did they only score 4, but they gave up 40. So they were down 36 after the first
What was the
quarter.
final? Did you get the final score on
I
that?
did not.
No.
I can try to look it up here.
Yeah, it's just
as I
they
play some
usually make a
clips
run and come
whatnot,
back and something like that in those
yeah,
games. but-
back in the day though with 3-pointers, I don't know. So the final score 128-92. So
Yeah,
not
so that's
really.
not as
they,
bad.
they played them relatively. Actually,
They didn't play much defense,
Is
but
this-
they
yeah.
must have started filling it
no,
up a
sorry,
little bit.
I looked at it a little too quickly there. So in the second quarter, they played them even 31-31, and then they won it 32-22 in the third, lost the fourth 25-35. So very even there the rest of the
Yeah,
way.
once you're down 36,
but once you're down
that's a tough
36,
comeback.
yeah, the Lakers probably were on cruise control after that. 1991, Alex Trebek, may he rest in peace. He became the first person to host 3 different American game shows at the same time with, of course, Jeopardy, Classic Concentration, and then To Tell the Truth. You can hear To Tell the Truth on Rothman and Ice every day at 2:20, I think it
Not
is.
here. We don't tell the we don't tell the truth.
1991, on that same date, Baseball's Hall of Fame Board of Directors vote 12-0 to bar Pete Rose due to his gambling on games both as a player and manager, Tito.
I lost money on that. I didn't get in.
Is he going to get in?
I think he will get in eventually.
Now,
yes.
right?
I think he will now.
They lifted it.
Yeah, they kind of like there's a path.
It's a lifetime ban. Dies.
Well,
Andrew die. Right, yeah.
It's a good.
And I still contend, and I hope it's true. God, I hope this is true because it's such a Pete Rose thing to do. I hope he recorded an induction speech before he died.
Like Iron Man?
I hope he did it, yes.
In 2000, the video game The Sims, developed by Maxis, is released here in North America. Pretty popular game. 2004, downfall of society. Mark Zuckerberg launches Facebook from his Harvard dorm room. We've never been the same since.
It was the downfall.
And then couple of Super Bowl here, Super Bowl games. In 2007, Super Bowl 41 down in Miami. Peyton Manning finally gets it done. Although he didn't necessarily play all that well, but nevertheless, the Colts beat the Bears 29-17. Manning was MVP of that game, but the defense locked it up with a pick six late in the fourth quarter.
Question is, can you protect the quarterback long enough? It's up 21 and a first. Grossman. Look out here, he's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Hayden. And Hayden still running inside the 20, and Hayden may run it back all the way. He does! Kelvin Hayden. Chicago has been trying these double moves all day long, and they have not gotten close.
They didn't get close on that
Sexy Rexy Grossman. How about that name? In the Super Bowl. They must have had a good defense.
Yeah.
That's one of the things
Devin Hester.
we should
Yes,
do
that's
is
true.
worst 5 quartrators to start a Super Bowl. We could do that list
He
later
would
on
be-
this week.
yeah.
Gross would be on there, yeah.
He'd probably be up there.
Guilford
Yeah.
be up there, yep.
And then another Super Bowl that was won by probably not a great quarterback, but he played great in this game. 2018 Super Bowl 52 in Minnesota. The Eagles, they get their first Lombardi trophy as they beat the New England Patriots 41-33. MVP of that game was Nick Foles. Most famously from that game, Philly when he caught a touchdown pass.
4th and goal. And they're going to snap it, and it's Trey Burton who throws caught. Foles, touchdown.
Here we go. They've got all these signals. Shotgun, he would not have been eligible but for the fact he was in the shotgun, not under center. And there's the old basketball player. They talk about Nick Foles. He's more comfortable playing quarterback like a point guard, and here he is receiving the pass.
There you go. And then the Eagles won another one just last year there. Some birthdays born on this day. He passed in 2006, but born on this date in 1912, the 5-time major golf winner Byron Nelson. Just 1 year after that, born on this date in 1913, one of the most famous civil rights activists, that'd be Rosa Parks. She passed in 2005, but was born on this day in 1913.
It was about 6 in the afternoon. I was arrested for refusing to give my seat to a white male passenger on the orders of the bus driver. The bus was organized with racial segregation, the white passengers to the front and the colored to the rear. And the bus driver, of course, would move or rearrange his passengers to his wishes, would order some persons to give up their seats for white passengers who had to stand.
And he ordered you?
Yes, he did.
She said no. Some music here. Singer and Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Alice Cooper turned 78 years old today.
I would have sang that, but I couldn't remember the words to it.
He's like 108 in rock star age.
That's amazing. That guy's still alive.
78's a big number for him.
Yes, yes.
And then drummer of the band Kansas, Phil Ehart, turned 75 years old today.
Once I rose above the noise and confusion, just to get a glimpse beyond this illusion. I was soaring ever higher.
But I flew too high. That's what the next line was, but I flew too high.
I almost gave it to you, Tito. I don't sound as good as you.
I don't sound as good as me either.
Pro Football Hall of Famer, 8-time All-Pro, 2-time Super Bowl champion. Arguably, maybe not so arguably, the greatest defensive player of all time, and honestly, somebody that a lot of people would consider just to be the greatest football player of all time. That'd be Lawrence Taylor, maybe another guy that he's lived a hard life at times.
Oh.
He turned 67 years old today.
There was only one Lawrence Taylor, and he was worth every penny. His freakish athleticism and sheer relentlessness made him a new kind of linebacker, one the league had never seen and could rarely stop. Taylor's instinctive approach to the game produced 132.5 sacks, but it was his fiery will to compete that made him the only linebacker ever named NFL MVP.
He is certainly among the very greatest players to ever play this game.
Listened to a different show, I think, earlier this week, and they said that one time Lawrence Taylor showed up in the second quarter of a game because he thought the game was the next day.
Well, hey.
He probably still had like 3 sacks.
I probably did, yeah.
You do enough of the Coke.
Yeah, right.
I
like how you
paused mixed up on your days.
You paused there
Tito,
trying to find the
know
right
it.
word.
So,
Oh, yeah, of
it was
course.
It's the 28th.
If Irvin and Taylor get into a room full of cocaine, who emerges alive? Who's the first one?
Wow, not the Coke.
No,
I know.
no.
It's going to be a bad day for the Coke.
A few more birthdays here. Actor Jim O'Hare turned 64 years old today. He's most famous for his role as Jerry on Parks and Rec. Pretty good sitcom there. More music. Lead guitarist and backup vocalist for The Offspring, Kevin Wasserman, turned 63 years old today. A song they made about Tito right here.
And all the girls say I'm pretty fly for a white guy. He needs some cool tunes, not just any will suffice. But they didn't have Ice Cube, so he bought Vanilla Ice.
Yeah, let's go.
And then last one here, turning 44 years old today, former Colorado quarterback and a man that Buckeye Nation has come to love because you get to hang out with him basically every Saturday. That'd be Joel Klatt, turning 44 years old today. A couple passings, no relation to Bobby on this one, I don't believe. Singer Karen Carpenter passed away just at the age of 32. I did not. We've played a lot of the Carpenter's music.
It was anorexia. Yeah, she.
Right?
Yeah, she.
What'd she do? Just
whittled down. Just like stop eating. She'd make herself throw up after she ate and things like that. She would never eat, and she was very. I would. How do I put this up? She was 70s pretty. Okay. but at the end of the day, she looked it was bad, yeah.
Gosh, yeah, it's
young.
That sounds like a rough way to go, man. Doesn't sound very fun. All right. One more passing here. Singer and founder of Earth, Wind, and Fire, Maurice White, passed away at the age of 74 years old. I totally forgot. I just realized as I wrote it down here, I forgot to get the years on those two people, but they passed away on this date.
Sometime
in the last
this day.
few decades.
Yes.
Holidays and observances. It is National Thank a Mail Carrier Day. Definitely thank them for getting your mail to your mailbox over the last week and change because I know a lot of neighborhoods you can't even actually drive up.
They've been working extra hard.
Yes,
reaching extra far out the window.
It is National Sweater Day. It is World Cancer Day. National Hemp Day. There you go, Tito.
Hey.
National Homemade Soup Day, and then National Girls and Women's in Sports Day, which we celebrate every day.
Every day we do, right at 5:56.
With Today in Women's Sports. That's what I got for you guys. My mic flies up. February 4th, 2026, the 35th day of the year. 330 days left in this 2026.
Well done, Bodie. A couple more days of that this week, and then when the cruise comes up. Is Bob back Monday?
Days. He's back Tuesday.
Yeah, have a conversation about the schedule then.
Yeah, he's. I think that one's actually covered. I think.
Is it?
You're not in here next Monday.
Not Monday, no.
I think Austin is. Yeah,
okay.
If I'm not mistaken. Right. And I think he's back Tuesday through Friday, and then I think he leaves late in the following next week.
You cruising?
Oh, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah.
Nice.
That'd be Tuesday of that next week.
I think it's safe to say we should just take the show on the road.
I don't
know.
Seriously?
If we can't get the connection figured out, I guess we'll just take a few days off.
That's what we'll do.
We'll record and put it up online.
It's for cancer. I mean,
right, it's for a good cause. Let us go for free, Bodie and I. All right, coming up next. You know what? I'll tell you this first before I tell you the tease. Sometimes the mood I'm in dictates like what the tease is when I write it. And this morning I woke up and said, this is not a nice tease. The CFP is weak. We'll do that next. Morning Juice.
Hey, everybody, it's Berm from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. There are a lot of reasons that we should be working to get healthier and happier in our lives. But one of the unexpected benefits of losing weight, my wife no longer elbows me in the ribs at 2 a.m. I didn't realize how bad the snoring had gotten until it's gotten better. And that's the kind of change I'd hope to achieve when I lost 35 pounds with Awaken 180 weight loss. 35 pounds down in just 6 weeks and officially under 200 pounds for the first time in 25 years. That number still feels fake when I say it out loud, but it's real. And what's just as real is how good everything else feels. There are no joint flare-ups. I'm moving around a lot better and never feels like a chore. I'm aware of when things feel wrong, and I'm also aware when things feel right. Thanks to my Awaken 180 coach, Mandy, I've learned how to eat, how to adjust, and now I'm heading into maintenance with a plan. That's what Awaken 180 really does. It teaches you how to keep going once the weight is gone. Free support for life with the solution for weight loss. Go to awaken180weightloss.com.
What does it mean to give 100%? It means giving everything you've got, every single day. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. So no matter what you give, we give 100% for life-saving research victories, 100% to making new discoveries that lead to innovative treatments, 100% to groundbreaking cancer research that could one day save someone you love. We know cancer research is working. Over the last 30 years, an estimated 4.5 million lives have been saved thanks to game-changing research breakthroughs. But there is more work to do. That's why the V Foundation gives 100% of every dollar donated directly to cancer research. We will always give 100% to accelerate victory over cancer.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Donate today at v.org.
Once there was a man who couldn't stand.
A mom who couldn't wait.
A scientific community that said it couldn't be done.
And then you.
And then I.
And then we brought neuromuscular disease into screaming color with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
For 75 years, our voices have thundered through the halls of Congress.
We've willed the impossible into existence.
We've pushed the science,
raised the funds,
shifted the narrative,
and transformed the reality of life with neuromuscular diseases.
For 75 years, we've built communities together,
established the field of neuromuscular medicine,
and made it thrive.
Call that a legacy.
Call it impact.
Call it momentum.
Just call it ours.
Because it's the generations of community heroes that give MDA the strength we have today.
And until neuromuscular disease is a thing of the past, you couldn't stop us if you tried.
Join us and celebrate 75 years of breakthroughs at MDA75.org.
One man is a national champion, NFL veteran, and local business leader. The other man is Tito. This is Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
Morning Juice. Bravely there. I gotta figure that out. My voice has been very gravelly lately for some reason. Just one more thing to add to my list. Haircut, that. We won't ever stop. College football. When I said they're weak, I shouldn't say that.
Well,
stupid would have been better.
Let's just say they're misguided.
There you go.
They came out with the dates for the next two CFPs. But can't the second CFP also be moved around a little bit because of if they expand? It doesn't matter. Who knows? Anyway, they have decided.
I think you are right on that, I will say.
Okay.
Because the 12-teamers just locked in for next year, right?
Yes. Just locked in for next year, yes. But this upcoming season, the CFP is not going to have the New Year's Eve game like they usually had this past year with Ohio State. We saw that. The Ohio State's first game was down there in the Cotton Bowl New Year's Eve, and then they had the triple header the next day with the other ones in the quarterfinals. Because the NFL will have a Thursday night game this year on New Year's Eve, the CFP decided to move it to the 30th. So they went back to the 30th on that one, and so they are not going to have the New Year's Eve game. Now, I don't know if the CFP should be that afraid of.
Yeah, is the NFL that big where it's like we can't put a semifinal game on the same night?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that you can, and I understand why the NBA does. NBA does it because they know there's no way in hell they'll compete with the NFL on Christmas Day. Like, they know that. And I'm not saying, I don't know how much CFP's rankings would be affected by it. By doing
I think the NBA would be scared of going up against college football.
Look, honestly, yes,
you know,
you're right.
I mean,
yes.
I think football in general gets the eyes. I mean, if you're throwing a New Year's Eve college football semifinal, I don't know that people are going to watch the NFL over that because the NFL is going to be week
Well, then it'd be like
16 or something.
16 or 17.
I mean,
right?
so maybe you have some big games, but that Thursday night game usually is, whatever. I mean, I think more people would tune in. I don't know why they'd be worried about that.
So the quarterfinal will be held on Wednesday, December 30th at the Fiesta Bowl. And then the 31st, the NFL will have their night, I guess. And then on Friday, the 1st of January, is when they will have the triple header with the Cotton Bowl, the Peach Bowl, and the Rose Bowl. Semifinals, January 14th and 15th. And so...
because they're going to play the first one that Wednesday night then. Because New Year's Eve is Thursday. So they're going to go Wednesday night.
Then Friday.
And then 3 on Friday.
Unless they're concerned that, so since New Year's Eve night, see, I can't think that
who wants to stay up late on Wednesday night when you got to stay up late the next night?
Right. Yeah, you're right. So, anyway, weird detail. They haven't announced anything for the 2028 to 2031 seasons yet, so I'm not sure on that one. But I know Lane Kiffin was upset because what we say about it is like almost 2 weeks off 1 year between, was it this year or next year that's going to happen with the 2 weeks off from the finals, the semifinals and the championship?
Yeah, it's one of the next 2 years.
It might be next year because I think is the final like the 28th next year?
I think it's the 25th.
25th. So if you're playing those, you'd have 10 days still.
I wonder if on New Year's Eve, if the NFL would consider like a double header with like a 6 or like a 6 o'clock start and then like an 8:30 start, kind of stagger it a little bit. Like if they would do that, I could see that happening. But I don't know. It feels to me like I don't know. It just feels to me like it's. I don't want to say running scared. I said scared, and I shouldn't have said scared because that's way too harsh of a word to use. But everyone bows down to the NFL.
Well, I mean, they want to make sure they're getting the maximum number of eyes on the college football game. I understand that, but I wouldn't be scared of that. I don't think it would matter. I mean, I'm sure it's happened over, maybe not with a semifinal playoff game,
right?
So maybe it hasn't happened. But I would like to see what the numbers look like if they did do it.
NBA insider Jake Fisher. We have the trade deadline coming up on Thursday, 3 o'clock Eastern time for that one. So we'll see what happens with the Greek Freak. And I don't expect LeBron to get traded. LeBron doesn't expect to get traded. NBA insider Jake Fisher, he said, though, the Lakers are ready to move on from LeBron. And if not at the trade deadline, after the season, he's a free agent after the season, or his contract's up after the season. So he has nothing. There's nothing there. They want to build with Luka now. Do you believe LeBron will be in a Laker uniform next season?
I don't think so. I think enough has happened out there because the bus is all sold out, right?
Yeah,
I think there's a lot between that. I think they're ready, like you said, to go to just Luka's a young star in the league, and Bron's 40 years old. I mean, he's still in really good shape. I mean, he's still an amazing athlete, but he's not giving you what he used to give teams. You just can't. Yeah. He's just old. I mean, that's just the way it goes, unfortunately. So I kind of thought when they played in Cleveland, that might have happened. Just to bring him home last year. Maybe he goes one more next year just to do that and kind of have his send-off. But, if he doesn't get traded or he doesn't go somewhere now, do you pick him up next year when he's an unrestricted free agent? I mean,
it's hard because he
brings such a dynamic to a team when it's just like you feel his. I mean, that's been his thing all the time. Like he does what he wants to do and he brings the people he wants to have there, and he kind of runs the show. As an older LeBron, would you want to bring that guy into a younger team? He has tons of knowledge and tons of experience,
right?
But maybe a little bit of a headache on the other side.
It feels to me when it comes to LeBron, and this is on a much smaller scale. But it's like when the Jets chose to sign Aaron Rodgers. Okay, when they got Aaron Rodgers, they knew Rodgers was going to want certain coaches in place. They knew he'd want to bring in all his old receivers. All these guys he'd thrown to before that are washed up and whatnot. And so if you're okay with that, then yes, pursue LeBron. LeBron is still a fantastic player. Mm-hmm. He's still a top 20 player, I would say, right now. I think last year I would have put him top 15, but I'd say top 20 player in the NBA right now. But yes, there is the the baggage that comes with it. And if you're ready to sign up for that, that's fine. But
what kind of team would a team that's not very good want to sign up for that? Maybe he helps that young team. But if you're a contender, you're like, we're pretty set here. I don't know if we want to mess with our chemistry.
There are so many things you have to take into account, though, before in LeBron, look, I know they're saying it's Luka's team and all this stuff. I think LeBron even may have said it at one point. I don't know if he did or not, but may have said it. But it's not. It's still LeBron. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron's still the biggest personality, the biggest thing on that team. And if I wouldn't want him to feel like the second banana. But you almost have to get to that point with him to where, look, just so you know, you're coming in. You're going to be a very important player on this team. But it's Donovan Mitchell's team or whatever, or this is how we're going to. They can say all that. It's still going to be the LeBron show.
You're still going to have that shadow over your team.
Yeah, and
he's going to play every other game, and the young guys are going to be like, what the heck are we doing here? This guy doesn't,
Yeah.
A lot goes into that, I would imagine.
And, it's the money part of it, too. Because I don't know if LeBron's
playing on a discount.
Let's say this out loud. I don't know if LeBron's ego is that big that he would not take less than max money. But, and by the way, also, you've got to it's bring your kid to work every day. So you got to take that into account also.
Consider that at this
two
point.
contracts you're giving.
You think you would?
I think he would. I think at this point, exactly, yes. And the thing is, too, is like this isn't like, I'm trying to think of an example, but picks, Shaq at the end where it's just like he can't even move.
Right.
Like LeBron could join Cleveland.
Yeah.
Come back.
Right.
Be the sixth man, still play on a regular basis, but they don't need him every night,
as many
obviously.
minutes.
Yeah, right.
And then when it gets to April, May, and June, like still make a huge impact.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden that would be a fifth ring.
Right.
I'm doing math right. 2 Miami, 1 Cleveland, 1 LA.
LA, yep.
Like that wouldn't be something that I was like, man, look at, he got his fifth ring, but who cares? Barely made an impact. Like it would still be as he's still trying
especially
to
if he
chase
did it back
Jordan.
in Cleveland.
I know he's not exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be a huge story.
He's not getting 6. Like that's probably
No,
not
it's not
happening
getting
at this
6, no.
point. But
ties with Kobe, right? 5. Didn't Kobe have 5?
And probably a handful of other guys, right? I think Duncan got 5. And
Duncan, maybe
might have been
5.
one of the other Lakers back in the day who had 5. And obviously you had the Russell Celtics there, but
and Robert always got like 17.
Exactly.
Yes.
Big shot.
But I could see he's not going to play for the minimum, but
maybe
if they bring Bronny Jr. in, maybe. Hey, y'all go minimum, but
hey, Bronny, it feels like a max player to me.
Can we get Bronny a 3-year, $60 million?
Yeah, keep the money in the family. I'll give it to my son here.
It'll be interesting too with the money thing because the NBA Players Association obviously doesn't want you to ever take a discount. They want all this out. And I'm not saying that they would pressure LeBron, but I wonder if they would have a conversation about it, like, hey, man.
I feel like they would. They're past that.
Yeah.
This isn't like Bryce Harper trying to get $600 million,
right?
And it's like every guy that kind of can push that number higher.
Right.
It really helps. I feel
That'd
like
be a
the
1-year
NBA
deal, right? I mean, you're going to give LeBron
probably
the max
1 or 2 at most.
Yeah.
And it's not like he hasn't done that throughout most of his career, and you got other guys pushing for that, so I think they would be fine there. But
I'll give you a wild card team to watch out for. A little bit outside the box. The Dodgers. The Dodgers like to pay people a lot of money and deferred money. You could see Ohtani, LeBron on the same roster.
LeBron hitting cleanup.
Yes. All right, coming up next, Quick Hitters, Morning Juice.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're ready there for your free consultation. So go check them out today.
I always tell people I was the luckiest guy in the world. I wanted to be an Army man or a fireman, and I got to do both. As a firefighter, my job was about saving lives. I never thought one day I would be fighting for mine.
After spending his career answering the call to save others, Ken was diagnosed with ALS. Now he's facing his biggest battle, for more time. For 70 years, Muscular Dystrophy Association has been answering the call to help people live longer and more independent lives.
MDA means to me hope.
MDA is leading the way for people living with ALS, muscular dystrophy, and other neuromuscular diseases by accelerating research, advancing care, and advocating to empower families like Ken's.
I wouldn't be living as good of a life with ALS if it wasn't for MDA. MDA is helping people live stronger and love longer. Learn more at MDA.org today.
Hey guys, 13-year NFL veteran and Super Bowl champion Jason McCourty here, and I'm an innovation ambassador at FAIR, Food Allergy and Research Education. I would say the most challenging thing as a parent of a kid who has a food allergy is probably the ignorance that I myself had in the beginning. I didn't know what anaphylactic shock was. I didn't know the dangers, let alone the things that she needed to be able to have a normal life. When you go to drop your kid off, and every single time in the beginning, we'd have to go through everything she was allergic to. Preparation is everything. And me, for playing football for 13 years, it was all throughout the course of the week. It's getting ready for game day. When you're on the field, you're playing for your fans. At home, you're playing for your family. My playbook: read labels, keep it allergy friendly, and have an epinephrine nasal spray as a backup plan. Because when my family's safe from food allergens, that's the real victory. Visit foodallergy.org to learn more.
Tito has had 2 wives. They've both been named Heather. If you know someone named Heather, please warn her. This is Morning Juice.
Morning Juice. Tito. Jay-Z. Can I get a what?
I used to get my hair cut by a girl named Heather. You want me to? I could probably still get her for you. You like the Heathers.
You know, let me tell you this right now. First of all, that's...
Just have her on retainer.
Listen, that is so BS for you to say it to me on the air. That's an off-the-air conversation.
Because about your haircut?
No, about the Heather thing. My wife...
I just heard it.
There's a friend of hers, I think from high school. I believe he's male. And he listens to this show.
Oh, yeah.
And then reports
She's
back to
hear
her.
about that.
Right.
Also, Justin's going to get you a girl to cut your hair, right?
Now, because my honest answer is, what I was going to say was, how old is she? Like, I was going to say that. You know, nice personality. I was going to say all those things, but I can't say them now, so I have to say,
You know what? Never mind.
No, you know what? It's too late now.
She only does girls' hair.
She only does girls' hair, but she cut your hair.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know what you do on the weekend on your own time is all up to you, Jay-Z. I'm not gonna judge. I'm not gonna do anything. Enjoy the cruise. Let's do some quick hitters.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
All right, fellas, happy Wednesday. We'll start here with the NFL. There has been a pretty heavy expectation that the league will move to from 17 to 18 games. It's basically more of a when, not if. But on Tuesday, the players made it very, very clear how they stand on that issue. NFLPA Interim Executive Director David White said at the union's annual Super Bowl week news conference, quote, "Our members have no appetite for an 18-game regular season. The 18th game is not casual for us. It's a very serious issue. It's something that comes out of negotiations, and nothing will move forward until players have the opportunity to account for all those factors that are taken into consideration, and then through negotiations agree or don't agree to an 18th game." Jay-Z, I don't think it's a huge surprise that the players don't want this.
Yeah.
Frankly, I'm not really sure anybody actually truly wants an 18th game outside of course, the owners who have a little bit of a
people who are
sway.
making the money. And there's going to be some fans, because football is football. If there's more games, we're going to watch them. I just hate the hypocrisy of, we got to make the game safer. We got to do this. We got to do that. And we just keep adding games to every level of football. But then it's, when we have injuries or we have this, it's like, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, well, you're adding more games. You're doing more stuff every year to these kids because you're making more money. I understand that aspect of it, but I think the players are going to put their foot down as much as they can anyways.
Yeah.
You're going to have to get something to, monetary. Like, you're going to have to pay these guys to want to go play that extra game, I think.
I will tell you now, it is going to happen. There will be an 18-game schedule. Mm-hmm. This right now, the NFLPA saying this, is all part of negotiation because there's the CBA's expiring, I think, in a couple of years here.
I saw 31.
Maybe 31. Okay, maybe it's a few years out. But this will be a point of negotiation where the players will say, eventually the players will say, okay, we'll play an 18th game, but we want this extra point in the percentage, not extra point like the ones we see, but an extra point of the percentage on the revenue share, like how much the players get of certain things versus the owners. It will come down to money.
Yeah, they're just putting their stance out there now.
Right now, yes.
Hey, this is our tactic in negotiating.
That's
we
what
do not want this We know you guys all do.
Right.
Meet us in the middle. What are you gonna do for us?
Take away one preseason game, add in a regular season game. Look at how much that will mean in the negotiation rights for all these the media deals, and it's inevitably going to happen. And I used to. They don't care about player safety.
No, they don't. That's the thing. But they talk about it all the time, but they don't care about it.
They don't care as much about it as they come out. Maybe they care a little bit. I'm not sure. But sometimes I look at these, and no offense to you people, Jay-Z, but you gladiators go out there and you sign up for it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've asked, I don't know if I asked you, I asked Bobby, I know this for sure, but would you ever, do you regret doing it? And I haven't heard a player say, even ones that are like just forever, changed.
Wow. Messed up.
I was going to say deformed. What?
I got buddies whose fingers don't go straight. Right. Their shoulders are replaced at 40 years old.
I can think of one guy who might have Tito.
They would do it all over again.
Who am I missing?
Yeah, his eyes, they were trembling. That was the only thing.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Daryl Stingley. That's right. Daryl, that's a good point, yes. Daryl, if you get paralyzed, I understand why you might say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have played football. I get that. R.I.P.
But there's a part of that player who's going to say, I don't know.
You know what? Yeah.
Because it's you grow up, you love it, you're in it.
Right.
You don't even, there's dangers, but it's just what you do. And I think anybody who played college football or NFL football,
right,
no matter how beat up they are, you'd go back. I would go back and do it all over again right now.
I'm sure you would.
I mean, we all
part,
would. I mean, it's just it's in you.
It's going to get 18 games, and then probably 20, and then probably 52, one every week.
Well, then we're going to have 2 international games. I mean, you got a game in Australia.
They're doing.
How long is that flight?
Yeah, they want to do an international game every week at some point. That's insane to me.
Can't believe it.
Yeah, I know.
I will be interested to see if they ever hit a point though where it's like too much. In terms of like fan interest.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Because everybody complains about how long baseball season is. Everybody complains about how long the NBA and hockey season. We got to shorten everything.
Yeah.
And I
think it may be okay if we lengthened football and shortened all the other.
You might be right. And obviously, they're never going to play 82 games, but I just wonder.
That'd be wild.
Yes, it'd be a long season. I just wonder though if we ever hit a point because I know I'm good. Like we could go back to 16, honestly. I love football, I do, but it does hit a point where one of two things. When the season's so long, and I think we see this in college football more than the NFL, like the more you drag it out, you just almost like forget about it a little bit.
Right.
And I know college football, the part of that is just like the gap between games and the playoffs.
You got the holidays in between all that stuff. So it's like, we had a big game, and then 2 weeks later, we have another one. Well, I got Christmas. I got all this stuff going on. You don't even think about the games. Like, when is that being played? I got to remember to look it up.
I know the NFL doesn't have that break.
Right.
So it's like they're a little bit more like go, go, go. So you don't like kind of out of sight, out of mind. But I don't know. Personally, I feel like the NFL, like the more you make each Sunday matter just a little bit less.
Right.
Like eventually I would think with fans, it's like, well, the whole point of football, what makes it so great is every Sunday matters, right?
Right.
You got to win every game, not literally every game in the NFL, but you got to win most of them to make the postseason and whatnot. And if you keep diminishing that, I don't know.
Well, and then with the fan bases, you keep taking home games away and sending them overseas.
Yeah.
When did the fans start saying, what are we doing here? We're the reason this thing is successful.
Our team just won 5 games.
Yeah, and you're taking this.
And you're just still sending them across the pond.
I'm not flying to Spain to go watch the team play. I'm trying to drive down the road to go to the stadium. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's but it's more bothers for me is how many how many days we're playing now. Like it's not just the amount of games, but like Sunday, Monday, Thursday. Okay, fine. But then like this year, Christmas on a Friday, Sunday, Monday, Thursday, Friday. Right?
Yeah, it does hit a point where
Saturday,
it's just like
Sunday,
I love football, but I don't want to watch it 5 days in a row. Like I like the off days, I like catching up on a show.
The anticipation of getting up to the weekend.
Right.
Like, all right, we got some big games going. So I'm like,
yeah,
it's Thursday night. I got to turn this Prime Video game on or whatever it is on Thursday night
too. Is like, where's this game?
Where do you find
I have this streaming service? Some college football here, guys, on the Colin Cowherd show yesterday afternoon. Nothing good ever really came out of that sentence if you say on the Colin Cowherd show. But nevertheless, on the Colin, if I could say his name right, Colin Cowherd show yesterday afternoon. Southern California head coach Lincoln Riley, that guy just really loves to complain about anything. And he continued that yesterday talking to Cowherd when he brought up the topic of name, image, and likeness in the SEC. He told Cowherd, quote, I think the parody and stories that wouldn't have happened before that are happening now are great for the sport. Now that there's not just one part of the country that's paying its players, everybody's able to do it. And it's a great thing because I do think it has created much more of a level playing field, and it has given schools the opportunity to really compete if they want to invest. Now, first off,
Yeah.
Last I checked, I think USC, maybe before Riley got there, but I think they were paying players at one point in time too, not just the SEC. And second off, for a guy who's won 66% of his games in his 4 years in SoCal, Tito, maybe he should worry about his own house before worrying about what the neighbor's doing. Give me a break, man. This guy cries about everything, and he can't even win at USC.
I would think not worry about his own house. I worry about Reggie Bush's parents' house. That's what I worry about there. Probably more about that than anything else. I'm over Lincoln Riley, but it's, it has certainly leveled the playing field with this stuff. They're going to pay everybody, but still, you're still going to have your elite teams. You're still going to have the elite things that happen. But Lincoln Riley, he's gotten to. I think he's surpassed Lane Kiffin for me, because Lane Kiffin still will say things that are semi-intelligent sometimes, but Lincoln Riley, it's just like it's like he's talking in parentheses to me. I don't even listen to him
anymore. At least Kiffin's winning, too.
Yeah, right.
If Riley said this and he was ripping off 12 wins a year.
Right. He just had, a couple of Heisman winners that he was able to coach, right? Which made him like, he's the...
Right. And he was great at Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. Like, I know they got blown out in the playoffs multiple times, but getting to the 14 playoff is still getting there. That's a hard thing to do. Like I said, at USC, he's not even winning, Jay-Z. So what are you talking about leveling the playing field?
Well,
it's still not helping you, apparently.
Well, it's not. They do have, the number one recruiting class in 2026, I think, which, whatever. Those guys may all not be there next year, so who cares about that, I guess. But I agree with him to an extent, though. But it's just like, was everybody aware that only one part of the country was paying players?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Everybody knows it, and we just let it happen for all those years.
We know some of the stories. The Dickerson and Craig James, Dickerson getting the car and everything, and it was Marcus Dupree said he was offered, or maybe it was Dickerson, one was offered an oil well by one of the teams from back in the Southwest Conference to come to their school. But I wish now, since that you're not going to vacate wins from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, I hope. But I would love for transparency now from the players.
Oh, yeah.
Like, talk somebody,
this is what I was offered.
Yeah, you know what? I got Damon Flint. You don't know that name. Damon Flint played basketball in the state of Ohio. And Ohio State got in trouble because they gave him, I think it was a bag of cash when they were trying to recruit him. Actually, it was at a Damon's restaurant on Old Haines River Road way back then.
Yeah.
And so they got busted for that. They're trying to give a bag of cash and to Damon Flint to get him to come here. The players in the 80s and 90s, Chris Mills, who ended up playing for the Cavs, I believe, for a while. He had money sent to his dad, and they tracked it all. They knew all these things. So, like, all these different... But I just wish that all these players, I don't care who you are, come out and just say, you know what, when I was there, I don't care if it's Ohio State, because I love Ohio State, don't get me wrong. I am sure nefarious stuff went on. Right? Like,
I think it's fair. It happened
throughout
everywhere.
the years.
Yes. Something's happened somewhere, some way.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody got paid for a job they didn't do, got a car.
No-show job,
something
car,
like that.
Whatever it's going to be. Or their parents got a job that pays really good money and
some
they don't have to do anything.
How the hell you think we got this guy on the left? Okay, he was highly recruited. Everyone wanted him.
I should have went down south.
You think we got him here just on the Scarlet
I didn't
Gray?
take that oil well. Yeah, I'll come play here.
You want to talk about some return on investment?
Yeah, really I'm not going to be at practice. I'm going to be out in the fields checking on my well.
No kidding. Back to the NFL here, guys. The New England Patriots aim for their 7th Lombardi Trophy this Sunday as they face the Seattle Seahawks out in Santa Clara in Super Bowl 60. But how about this? The man who helped deliver the first 6 titles to the Pats, he said that he does not have a rooting interest in the game this weekend. On the Let's Go podcast, Tom Brady said, quote, "I don't have a dog in the fight in this one. May the best team win. And in terms of the Patriots, this is a new chapter in New England. And I'm glad everyone's embraced the Mike Vrabel regime, all the amazing players that have worked so hard to get their club to this position. We did it for 20 years. There was a little bit of a hiatus in there. Yeah, they sucked for 4 years. Now they're back.
Humble brag.
But, yeah, we did it for 20 years. No big deal. But the Patriots are back, and it's a very exciting time for everyone in New England. But Brady says, I just want to see a good football game. I want to see good plays, good throws, good strategy, and good decisions.
I'm so glad you said that you started to say something else.
Jay-Z, maybe not totally surprised now that he's in the broadcast booth and owning the Raiders that he's not rooting for the Pats, but you would have also thought maybe with Kraft still there and whatnot, you thought he'd maybe say like,
Vrabel,
hey,
a teammate of
I don't
his.
care, but I'd like to see New England
You would think
win.
maybe he would have went with the, hey, listen, I'm in the booth now. This is great. I had an awesome time there. Great career. Love the organization. Vrabel's the head coach. He was my guy back in the day. Like, it would be cool to see him, reach that, and the program. Now, I don't know, like when you leave high school or when you leave college and your programs go and wins championships, it means a little bit to you because that's you have that pride in the program or where you went to school. I don't know if the NFL is that way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you've been there for 20 years, you probably get that feeling. But I just, with it being professional, I just don't know if the guys look at it that way.
Brady's a liar. He's rooting for Vrabel. I know Brady's rooting for.
Now, the politically correct answer is, hey, I'm looking for a good game. Yes.
Yes. What he did was the smart way to do it. But he's very polished. That's what he did. But he's rooting for Vrabel. And also think about this: the next head coach of the Raiders is going to be Clint Kubiak, the OC for the Seahawks.
True.
If he wins the Super Bowl, if he wins a Super Bowl, all of a sudden he might ask for more money.
Yeah.
Let's be smart about it. It'd be smart for the Patriots to win. And also, out of everybody involved in the Super Bowl, do you guys know who needs this win the most?
I don't.
We're talking about a player or like an organization?
Robert Kraft needs it because 6 Super Bowls is not enough to get the Hall of Fame. He needs a 7th one to cement his legacy. That, huh? Yes. That's it for quick hitters. Folks, coming up next, there's going to be an interview we're going to play with Mike Eruzione from the Miracle on Ice team from the 1980 Olympics. Bodie and I did the interview. Zwick didn't do it because he roots against America, but that's okay. But anyway, no, we did the interview yesterday. Justin wasn't here, but we're going to play that for you next. This is Morning Juice.
Bobby Carpenter here with the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. In football, a quarterback needs protection, time in the pocket to make the big play. In business, your pocket is your cash flow. Without the right protection, pressure can come fast. A great banking partner is like your O-line, pancaking your problems to keep you marching down the field. Here's Chuck Moore, CEO, and Travis Sanders, president of Riverside Bank of Dublin, on how they help local businesses protect the pocket.
Thanks, Bobby. At Riverside Bank, we help you guard what matters most with cash management, flexible credit solutions, and fraud protection that keeps your business upright and moving forward.
That's right, Chuck. Because whether you're running a small shop or leading a regional enterprise, protecting your pocket is how you stay in the game. Come see us at Riverside Bank, and we'll help you play to win. Look for our new branch location at Bridge Park in 2026.
Tune in every day for the Riverside Bank of Dublin Sports Money Report. Visit their office at 6300 France Road in Dublin or online at riverside.bank.
My mom is a veteran and she was injured in the line of duty.
I hurt my leg in a training accident when she was only 2 years old.
She had 7 different surgeries over the span of 9 years, and there were tons of complications.
I couldn't be the mom my kids needed me to be.
She missed so much.
After my last surgery, I got an infection so bad I thought it was going to kill me.
I told her she couldn't leave me yet. There was still so much she had to see. I hadn't even graduated.
I'm doing much better now. I may have lost my leg, but I've gained so much. I'm an active part of my kids' lives.
She can kick a mean soccer ball.
DAV's been there for me and my family. Through thick and thin, they've had our back.
Every year, DAV helps more than 1 million veterans like Sandy get the health and disability benefits they've earned so they can achieve victories great and small.
My victory is getting my life back. I got my joy back.
We got our mom back, thanks to DAV.
Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
While serving in Vietnam, a grenade took my ability to see. Today, I'm a sculptor. Now, my fingers are my eyes. I'm Michael Naranjo. As a veteran, I know the challenges of life can be great. In my art, turning a lump of clay into something beautiful, that is worth doing. Life is like that. We each must use what we can to make things better.
DAV helps veterans like Michael get the benefits they've earned. They help more than 1 million veterans every year in life-changing ways.
Now, I show others how they can create something with their own hands. I know it can do a lot of good. With support from DAV, more veterans can shape their lives into a thing of beauty. My victory is bringing beauty into the world.
Michael Naranjo, may your victories inspire many more. Support more victories for veterans. Go to DAV.org.
Proud to be your go-to sports addiction.
WBNS, WBNS FM, HD3 Columbus.
The Fan 3, Ohio sports destination. Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
All right, folks. Sports. We're now back with Mike Eruzione. He is the forward on the 1980 U.S. Olympic gold medal winning hockey team. Miracle, the Boys of 80, a document now playing on Netflix, is out there. And, it's funny, Mike, that Bodie and I were talking. First of all, you need to know this. A Miracle is the most quoted movie we ever have on this show. We are constantly quoting it, and we're constantly talking about you guys all these years later. Do you ever get tired of talking about it?
No, not really. I mean, it's a good story. And, people, are proud and happy about what we did and what we accomplished. And I think when you can share a good story with people, I think it's a good thing to do. We have so much negative stuff going on in this world. We need something positive to talk about.
As you still tell that story all these years later, Mike, I mean, it's been more than 4 decades now. Is it something that you still kind of, as time continues, you have to pinch yourself to realize, yeah, we really did do that? Does the story become even better as you kind of get further away from it?
It becomes better sometimes when you see a 8 or 9 or 10-year-old boy or girl come up to you and tell them that they watch Miracle all the time and it's their favorite movie. You see another generation of kids that kind of know our story. And when that happens, it kind of just relives it again.
He's Mike Eruzione, scored the game-winning goal against the Soviets and then went on to win the gold medal, obviously, over Finland. To in that 1980 Olympics. The Miracle, the Boys of 80, we all three, me and Bobby, and out of here, me and Bodie, though, both watched it. And what struck me was how much of that stuff that you guys either hadn't seen before or hadn't seen in years, that footage, and your genuine reactions to it. What was that like for you?
I thought it was I thought it was really done well. Like you said, stories that I'd never heard. I thought Kenny Morrow, talking about his dad. Kenny went on and won 4 Stanley Cups with the New York Islanders and talks about how important his family was. And, Jimmy talking about his family and, Robbie explaining how he almost punched Herb in the face in the locker room. I mean, there were things that you didn't know about or forgot about. So that's why I thought that the documentary was done so well. It brought out a lot of things that, we reminisced about, but a lot of things we didn't know about as well.
One of the best things I think we can all agree about on sports, Mike, is just a team coming together, no matter how different you guys might be, come from different backgrounds, all sorts of areas and whatnot. You come together for a common goal. And one thing I loved about the doc was at one point you had mentioned the game-tying goal against Sweden when the Olympics first got started. You kind of mentioned that might have been the most important goal of the Olympics, and that's coming from yourself, who scored the game-winning goal against the Soviets. And the part about Janusek where, he won a national championship with Herb in Minnesota, and yet he still really didn't get to play much because Herb felt that Jim Craig was the best goalie to go out and beat the Soviets and win the gold medal. How much did it mean to you just to reconnect with those guys, see that guys, and just be on that team and that camaraderie that, anybody who's been a part of a team really can't speak to unless you are part of that team?
Yeah, that's always fun. We have an opportunity every once in a while to get together. We do a fantasy camp in Lake Placid, and usually 8 to 10 guys show up, and we've done like a memorabilia signing back in Minnesota. So we get 14 guys or 13 guys to come back for that. But it's funny when we get together, we're the most immature men you would ever want to be around. We don't talk about the Olympics. We don't talk about what happened then. Who's fought, who's fat, who's bald, who's dyeing his hair. Whose handicap is, who's a sandbagger on the golf course. I mean, things that guys talk about. So it's a bond and a friendship and a love that we have for each other. And when we get that opportunity to spend some time, it's really childish in many ways, but it's a hell of a lot of fun.
When you guys were, you played the 61 games in 5 months getting ready for this. And obviously a lot of things were ups and downs throughout that whole time. And I'm curious as to when did you actually think, what, this team could surprise some people and win a medal, let alone the gold?
I think after we beat Czechoslovakia, I mean, that was the only team that anybody thought could beat the Soviets because they had an intense rivalry from the countries hating each other. And then they had the Stosny brothers and a lot of guys who had been to the Olympics before. So I think it was then after we beat them, it was like, hey guys, we get a shot to get to the medal round, and that was our goal. Get to the medal round, and once you're in the medal round, anything can happen. And that's kind of how we approached everything. I said this the other day to someone. I hate to sound like Bill Belichick, but Herb was very much, okay, we beat the Czechs, we're on to Norway. We beat Norway, we were on in Romania. We beat Romania, we're on to West Germany. Now we're in the medal round. Now we got 2 games to play, and let's see what happens.
And building off of that a little bit, Mike, I'm curious, you guys famously, or maybe infamously, played the Soviets right before the Olympics got started in an exhibition game, and they kind of whooped you guys a little bit there at the Garden in New York. How important was that game for you guys just to see, like, okay, this is what this is going to take, this is what this is like to play these guys, and we sort of know what it might take to beat these guys. And then also, it kind of has been a not well-kept secret that the Soviets, they came into that game the second time you guys played them then in the gold medal round, or I'm sorry, in the medal round there, that they came in pretty arrogant and overconfident because they just whooped you a couple weeks prior.
Yeah, I'm assuming that was their case. I didn't talk to them. I didn't know anything about how they prepared for the game. One of the things about us, the game that we lost 10-3, we were losing 6-0 after the first period, and then played fairly equal for the second and third. And that game was never talked about, never brought up. When we got to play him again the second time, Herb not once said, remember the last time you played him. It was like the game didn't even exist. It was the 60-some-odd game of a long 6-month grind. I think for us as a team, we were happy that the Olympics were finally in front of us. I don't think we were anywhere near prepared to play the game in Madison Square Garden as we were, but it did help because we realized that, hey, boys, we better show up every time we play against anybody, let alone the Soviets. So, well, the fact that the game was never talked about and never existed in our minds, when we went out and played them the second time, we were a totally different team. Our mindset was different. We were in Lake Placid. We were at the Olympic Games. We finally were there. A lot of us were still waiting to see who was going to get cut from the team prior to the game in Madison Square Garden. So that was just the last of a lot of games, but a good game for us to play because it was kind of a wake-up call as well.
Mike Eruzione, forward on the 1980 U.S. Olympic gold medal winning hockey team, joins us right now. He is featured in The Miracle, The Boys of 80, the document now playing on Netflix. You've got to go watch it. And then you've got to go watch the movie Miracle, and then watch the 30 for 30 from the ESPN, where they did from the Soviet side of you. It's interesting to see all of that. It's such a, it might be, let me think. I'm going to say this now, Mike. I want to hear if you agree with me. The most important sporting event in U.S. history?
Well, I guess that's what they say. I believe there's some truth to it. Part of the reason, again, it's different than, and I've said this. You probably heard me say it or read that I've said it. I've said this many times. Other than being a police officer, a firefighter, or somebody in the military who protects and serves our country, there's no greater feeling than putting on a USA jersey. You're not playing for a Stanley Cup. You're not playing for a World Series or a Super Bowl. You're not playing for Chicago or Detroit. You're playing for the United States. And I think that's what separates Olympic events from other sporting events. And I think in our case, looking back and now, 40-something years later, realizing what it meant to a country at a time we needed something to feel good about. We were struggling with the economy. The hostages that had been taken. The Soviets invaded Afghanistan. There was a threat of a Cold War, kind of a political climate that made this victory a little more special than I think other sporting events. I told someone the other day we could use a 1980 now. We were playing, and the country rallied behind it. Again, how many times people come up to me today, depending on their age, they'll say exactly this. I remember when Kennedy was assassinated. I remember when the Challenger blew up. I remember 9/11, and I remember where I was when we won. And I always go, I didn't know you were on the team. But that's what that game meant to people, and that's what separated, I think, this particular sporting event from any other ones that we've ever seen. And, somebody's going to win a Super Bowl, and I'm hoping it's the Patriots because I'm in Boston. But people in Texas and places, they don't care. If it's not your team playing, other than maybe the sports fan. But when it's the Olympic Games, it's a whole different little mindset.
I just want you to know, Mike, if you would have said to Bodie, we need a 1980 right now, I know exactly what Bodie would have said to you. He would have said, put your gear on. That's what he would have said to you.
We're going to win it this year.
There you go, Mike. I wanted to ask you about your guys' relationship with Herb Brooks. I think it's probably relatively fair to say that if they, had a textbook definition of love-hate relationship, that would probably be your guys' you and your teammates' relationship with Coach Brooks. There was the part in the doc where Mark Johnson took a cheap shot late in the game against Czechoslovakia, and that was kind of when you guys mentioned, like, you know what? He rides us hard, man, and he's trying to pull every ounce of greatness out of us. But that was a moment where you guys realized how much Coach Brooks loved you guys, though, and was willing to fight for you. Was that the first time that you kind of got that inclination? Is there any other moments where you kind of realized, like, man, he's hard on us, but it's because he wants to pull that greatness out of us? And I know deep down somewhere in there he does love us.
Yeah, I mean, it's coaches coached that way in the 70s. I played under Jack Parker at Boston University. Jack was intense. Jack challenged us every single day. And Herb was no different. I tell people Herb was like your dad. You love your dad, but sometimes you hate your dad because he makes you do things you don't want to do. That was Herb. And Herb chose to coach that team that way, and to be us against him. You got to remember there were 9 kids on the team that played under Herb at the University of Minnesota. So he couldn't show favoritism. He had to kind of treat us all the same. And we understood that's the way it was going to be. And I've said this before about coaches in general. If you don't respect your coach, you're in trouble. And if you don't trust your coach, you're in trouble. As hard as Herb was, we trusted him and we respected him. We understood that this is the way it was going to be. It wasn't like all of a sudden he turned the switch and said, I'm going to coach this way. It was that way from the very beginning. And then when you saw him react like that on the bench when Mark got hit by the Czech player, it just confirmed everything that you thought about him and knew about him, that you trusted him and he had your back and he was going to fight for you. So that was, maybe the one message during the games that, truly showed that Herb, cared about this team and it meant a lot to him. And that message clearly went through the locker room.
He is Mike Eruzione, forward on the 1980 U.S. Olympic gold medal winning hockey team, Miracle, the Boys of 80, a document now playing on Netflix. And as impressive and as monumental and incredible the win over the Soviet Union was, second, and not a close second, but second to that, I think, is how you guys stayed focused enough for the gold medal game. Because that, you guys beat the Soviets. A lot of people think that's when the Olympics ended. That's when you won the gold. You had to come back out again and play. And I'm curious, was that difficult to, I'm going to say level back down, but difficult, though, to get calm again, knowing you have another game to play? Or was that easy for you guys because of Herb?
Well, it was easy because of her, but we beat the Soviets on Saturday, and we show up for practice. I'm sorry, we beat the Soviets Friday, and we show up for practice on Saturday because we're going to play Finland on Sunday, and Herb skated our asses off. I mean, it was like, why is he so pissed off? We just beat the Soviets. And, what he had to do is get that energy out of us, get that excitement. We were in the locker room, we were signing autographs, we were signing pictures, and he came in and just flipped out. And I remember after he skated us and we beat the Finland the next day, I talked to him later and I said, Herb, we were ready to play Finland. You didn't have to skate us that hard in practice. But, he knew what he had to do and we understood what he was doing. But, this particular team, after Finland, if there was another game to play, we'd have played. And we just loved being together. We loved being in the locker room together. We loved competing for each other. And, everybody talks about the Soviets, but if we don't beat Finland, you and I aren't having this conversation today.
I was going to ask you, I don't know if that's the case. I think we still would.
I don't know. We come in 4th place, don't win a medal. Who knows? I don't know about that. It would have been, God, what a great Olympic Games, but if he only could have beat Finland. So I think people would have, talked about it for a little while, but right. I think the gold medal solidifies the whole thing. We didn't go to Lake Placid just to compete. We went with the hope and dream of winning a medal and winning a gold medal. And when you achieve that, you've achieved what you wanted.
Something you said earlier, Mike, just blew me away. Like the fact, a 10-year-old person, 10-year-old kid come to you and talk and, recognizing what you are, what you accomplished, what your team did back then. When you think about, how many years ago it was, does that blow your mind sometimes?
Yeah, it is. I have grandkids now, and they said to my 10-year-old grandson a couple of years ago. Well, now, yeah, he's 10. He was 8. I brought him to Lake Placid, and I was there. I have a store up in Lake Placid, so I went up with my grandkids. And they actually were the first grandkids to skate on the ice, and they had some media cameras there and all this, interviews. And my grandson comes up to me, and he goes, "Papa, you're famous." I just looked at him and laughed because, he didn't know. They don't know. We don't talk about it. But I think when I go to hockey games, youth hockey games, his friends, his teammates, other kids from other teams, they come up and they all know the story, especially, the hockey players. So it's a great tribute to our team to realize that the story still exists. But as I told this year's Olympic team when I was at the Four Nations tournament, I said to them, will you guys do me a favor and win a gold medal and people will leave us alone? It's over.
You don't want that. This is great, Mike. I know it's got to look. You do thousands of interviews. I get it, but yeah, it's such a cool thing. And we'll get you out of here quickly. Bodie wants to believe that the movie Miracle is 100% accurate. You and I have talked before, and I know it's a Hollywood movie with a lot of things in there. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and you might break Bodie's heart depending on your answer. Okay, the scene with the skating, with the lights off there in the arena that night, real?
We skated.
Okay,
but not all 20 of us. Only 16 of us dressed that night. Buzzy Schneider got thrown out for fighting, so there were 15 of us left.
Okay.
And we proceeded to do the Herbies, the drills. We did them for about an hour and a half after the game, but we'd do them 15 minutes at a time, then we'd stretch.
Okay.
Then we'd do them again, then we'd stretch, then we'd do them again, then we'd stretch. And I remember it was Mark Johnson, I think, smashed his stick off the boards, and Herb said, if I hear another stick break against the boards, you'll skate till you die. Well,
okay.
Nobody said a word, and we back in the locker room finally when they shut the lights off. The emergency lights were the only lights on in the building. And Herb said, if you play this way again tomorrow, you're going to skate again. Well, we won 8-0 the next day.
Name on the front of the jersey. Real?
Yes, but I didn't say Mike Eruzione, United States of America.
What did you say?
I didn't say a damn thing. I wanted to get off the ice.
Okay, all right, okay, that one, okay. Get your gear on in the scene in the locker room with the injury and Herb getting ticked off. Is that fairly accurate the way it went down?
Almost 100% accurate. I was sitting there with Mark Johnson in the locker room, and Herb and Robbie McClanahan are going at it, and I didn't know if there was going to be a fight. And I looked at Mark, and Mark looked at me, and we went, geez, one period into the game, and Herb has already lost it. But that scene happened.
Okay, and then I want to ask you real quickly, what inspired you? Like, did you plan beforehand to invite the whole team onto the medal stand the way you did?
I'm not that smart. What happened was, they told us this is what's gonna happen. Each guy's gonna receive their medal. When you get yours, stand up there and they're gonna play the national anthem. And then that's all they said. They didn't tell us where to go or what to do after. So I'm standing up there, and my teammates are kind of walking towards me like, what are we supposed to do? Where are we supposed to go? And it was just a reaction and to call everyone up. And if you follow the Olympic Games after 1980, there's a long platform, and all the players stand equally, which it should be. One person shouldn't be up there unless you're an individual athlete competing. So we all fit. I don't know if we're all fit now, but we all fit then.
Mike, thank you so much for the time. I really appreciate it and giving us some insight on that. Miracle, The Boys of 80, a document now playing on Netflix. Go check it out. Mike Eruzione and that 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team did something for this nation that I don't think I've ever done in sports before. So thank you, Mike, for the time. Enjoy the Olympics.
All right. Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
You bet. That was Mike Eruzione there. Joining us coming up next, Austin Ward will join us. We'll do that. Follow that act, Austin. This is Morning Juice.
Miss Fernandez, what are those tiny things?
Those are what we call amoebas. You can only see them through a microscope.
Wow.
Today's students are tomorrow's great thinkers and innovators. But right now, there's a funding crisis in public schools. Millions of kids go to schools that don't have funding for books, computers, and so much more just because of where they live. You can help change that. Donors Choose is a nonprofit that lets you support students and teachers in your community and beyond. You choose which supplies to support. You could provide first graders with pencils and paper, or other students with their first chapter books, help a music class get a guitar.
You could even supply a classroom like mine with a science project. But what you're really giving is the moment that sparks a brighter tomorrow.
To learn more, please visit DonorsChoose.org. That's DonorsChoose.org. Choose students. Shape the future.
I slept in a lot of different rooms, different beds, but none of them really felt like mine. I spent 14 years in foster care, mostly in group homes. And I never had much left because I always had to be ready to move. Why get things if you just have to let them go?
There are more than 100,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted. The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is working to help find them a forever family and a permanent home of their own.
Now I have my own room with walls that tell my story. I love hanging out in here. I play dress up with my sisters and I sing and make videos. But the best part? Knowing I'll always have a place to go and a family that loves and supports me.
If you have room in your home or your heart, see how you can help at davethomasfoundation.org.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
Attack and dominate. You're locked into Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Riverside Bank of Dublin.
Here's Bobby and Tito.
It is Tito. It is Bodie. It is Sean Carter. And now it's this guy.
A guy who considers himself the mayor of Laramie, Wyoming, who holds the shuffleboard record at the Ranger, and most impressive, the commissioner of the Central Ohio two-man scramble league. Here's Austin Ward.
Oh, Austin, it seems like I just saw you.
Were you dreaming?
Maybe, yes. But I know the first question's on everyone's mind to get your thoughts on this. How about those jackets?
Oh, my gosh. After our conversation yesterday with Porty, Tito, it's like, boy, we really hyped this up, building into this stretch before the Olympics. Can they get one? And then, boy, you see that score go up on the board, and I'm checking the standings now as soon as these games go final every day. It's really great to be invested again in the Jackets because, like, a month ago, I was like, well, the season's over. Let's just pack it in. Let's move on. And now we're in an actual race, Tito.
What does a day look like for you, like today? Like what? Because it's obviously I don't say slower time, but yeah, it's slowed down in college football a little bit here. I would say. I think it's safe to say. So, like, what are you going to do today?
Well, today of all days, it's interesting that you asked that, Tito, because it's National Signing Day.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah. The faxes are coming.
Remember when this used to be one of the busiest days on the calendar? Yeah, I know Justin remembers that very well. And you think about what would be happening at 7:22 a.m. on the National Signing Day Wednesday. Like the activity, the flurry of activity would already be going on. You'd have back in the days the fax machine whirring, and then it became a social media competition for everyone to unveil their class the second that the signatures rolled in. How DocuSign, however those things evolved over time, and it was a full day. There'd be a press conference in the Woody, and you'd have the head coach, you'd have Mark Pantoni. Sometimes you'd have the early enrollees that you'd get to meet them and chat with them for the first time. And now there's none of that. Like Ohio State is not signing anyone today. Most programs aren't. They may have some paperwork done with a preferred walk-on kicker, although I'd be following the extravaganza that was National Signing Day. I think I was told earlier in the week, like the only coaches that were around right now were Keenan Bailey and Arthur Smith, who were getting to work on the offense with a month to go until spring ball starts. So it's funny that you asked that today, because otherwise it's like I'm going to be Looking for a question of the day that I'll write at Letterman Row. Berm and I will record an episode of The Beat for Thursday morning, which will be, I think, like a wide receivers review of last season and a preview for spring ball. But, knock on wood, barring something unexpected, it's not a day that you have to work the phones or head down to watch social media constantly for things to roll in. So that part is kind of nice. The month of January was so chaotic, Tito. It's a relief, I think, to get to February at this point, and it may well wind up being one of the quote-unquote quieter points, I don't want to jinx it, of the college football calendar, which is getting more loaded 365 days a year than it's ever been.
Austin, how do you think, I know it's changed. Today's National Signing Day. Nobody cares. How does that, I know we have a big freshman class this year, but moving forward in college football in general, are these big high school classes done? Or are they going to hold out on the portal? It's just, how do you see it moving forward? Because it seems as if, does any freshman come in like I did in the summertime anymore? Everybody's always in January. Things have changed so much. How does high school recruiting, go forward from here?
Yeah, well, I believe that every member of that signing class, which you mentioned, Jay-Z, was quite large, 28 players for Ohio State in December. All of them but one were early enrollees. All of them were on campus on Christmas or around Christmas or ready to roll right after the Buckeyes got back from the Cotton Bowl into the new year. So they've been in workouts. They've been in classes now for several weeks with Ohio State. And I think the question about the future is an interesting one, because in terms of chasing high-level players, that's not going to stop. Ohio State is going to be pursuing the highest level 5 stars, the best 4 stars that are available to them, but only ones that they really view as are ready to contribute right away for Ohio State, because those players are going to come with a price tag and a higher one than a lot of their peers. So if you're going to have to earn that on the field now, and that's the shift in philosophy. So that pool of players that you sign is going to shrink. Now, there's a possibility that you could still see 24, 25, 28, 30 players overall in a signing class, but they may turn out to be like undrafted free agents. If we're going to extend the NFL analogy down to college football, they're scout team players. They may be like 2 stars from the state of Ohio who really just want the opportunity to put on the scarlet and gray. They may be diamonds in the rough. They may pan out. They may have a chance, if they maximize the opportunity to work with Mickey Marotti and Anthony Schlegel, or be on the scout team and compete against elite Ohio State players that in 2 or 3 years they didn't come here to reach a payday, but maybe they pan out into someone who can contribute. Who knows? That shift will be different, where you could get to the same size class, but you might only be looking at paying for 25% of that group. They'd be the only ones that you were following breathlessly, their recruitment up until December. People that are like Jeremiah Smith or Devin Sanchez, for instance. Ohio State is always going to be involved in those, and they'd love to see the development process through for them. And Chris Henry Jr. in December, when that financial investment makes sense, they're going to make it. But you can't do that anymore with every single member of your signing class. It's financially irresponsible because of the impact that then has on the rest of your roster, where you have to go back and then renegotiate with people who have actually proven something at the college football level. So it has changed, Justin, and it's hard to know exactly what that number is going to look like. I do know that the number of targets that are truly going to resonate immediately is going to shrink. But you still have to field a roster that can get through a season and practice every day.
He is one half of The Beat with Austin and Berm. Catch that podcast wherever you catch your podcasts. Also on 10 TV Plus specifically. Let's go there. Austin, in all the time you've covered Ohio State, who is the player that most surprised you that didn't end up coming? Like a guy who signed and was good. Everyone thought, yes, he's gonna end up being with Ohio State, no doubt about it, and then did a 180 at the last minute.
At the last minute, I don't know. That's tough because I don't. Berm would be the better one to answer that out of the Austin and Berm show. Ones that spent multiple years. I think of like probably the quarterbacks that, and sometimes they made it through a year. Sometimes they switched. Like Torrance Gibson, I think came with more hype than like any player. Maybe I can recall. That was a recruitment that everyone was following along, and Urban was ecstatic about the dual threat ability. And then I got really excited about what he could become at wide receiver. But, he signed. He made it onto campus. The same is true with Quinn Ewers. I mean, I think his recruitment, the Quinn Ewers recruitment out of any of my time when I started actually paying closer attention to it, still not to the level of Berm. And it's like, well, he's signed. It's been a flip with Texas. I went down to Berm and I both went down to meet him and cover him and write about him and interview him in Dallas shortly before he flipped an early enrollee. That was one of the more shocking recruitments, which then he had made it seem very clear at that time how much he wanted to be at Ohio State and learn from Ryan Day and see his process and development through. So then by the time that he was supposed to actually sign in December of that year, he was already transferring back to Texas after an early enrollment and handing off 3 times against Michigan State. That was the entirety of his career. I feel like that was the more, out of all the recruitments I think about, and they're kind of a blur to me, Tito, that one is like, I don't understand how any of this happened. And it was right at this, it was the first year of NIL, which was the reason that Quinn Ewers reclassified. I understand that he was in a tough spot because you had people that had no idea how to evaluate, how to monetize what a player was actually going to be worth, how much you should pay up front. You had endorsement deals that were, Quinn Ewers was given ownership in a kombucha company. Like, what is happening here? I don't understand how any of this is going on. And so maybe that's why it stands out to me. It was at the start of this era, and it was like, okay, that's what this is really going to be like. Buckle up.
Yeah, we don't have anything like that going on right now, so that's good, I guess.
Right.
The only thing that maybe could possibly happen is our defense coordinator, and I know you've been asked about that probably a ton over the last month or so because it just seems to just keep dragging on. Is Ohio State okay with just dragging on and saying we hope he picks us?
I mean, no one would be truly thrilled with that situation, Jay-Z. I think the Buckeyes would like Matt Patricia to sign on the contract. I know it's been out there. The dollar figures have been discussed. Matt Patricia knows how much Ohio State wants him. And part of, I think, their desire is to lock him up for a very long time. And so there can be other strings attached to that with buyouts and, language in the deal to try and, make sure that the interest is reciprocal in return for a long time going forward. And that's why I think more than anything, Matt Patricia has been within his rights to leave the options open for, I think specifically the Las Vegas Raiders, but anybody at the NFL level who wants to put another dollar amount out there that would, maybe that would change his family's life, maybe for the better. If the Raiders did something crazy like they did a year ago with Chip Kelly, I know I mentioned that to both of you guys several times in the last couple of weeks, but I'll reiterate it. I mean, if that's the only thing that could really, I think, derail this process right now, because the $6 million that they offered Chip Kelly a year ago, the Raiders did, that's just not an amount that Ohio State can afford to match, and no one can. And also, the Raiders immediately regretted it and didn't even let him coach for a full season. So I think that's really the thing. Does Clint Kubiak, his hiring's not official, so he can't really put his staff together right now. If Tom Brady is allowed to pick the defensive coordinator, and I don't know if that will be the case or not be the case, to be honest with you guys, because I don't cover the Raiders and I've never spoken with Tom Brady. And I don't know if Matt Patricia knows how that part is going to work out definitively. Although I will say that it's not a surprise that Clint Kubiak was the pick, that the Raiders were getting somebody off of a Super Bowl staff and would have to wait into next Monday before it could really ramp up that process. So that part of the conversation with Matt Patricia and for Ohio State has not changed. I don't think Matt Patricia's willingness and desire to stay at Ohio State and let his family put down roots in Columbus has changed. But these contract negotiations, I don't think anybody ever truly enjoys them. And it's a little bit more complicated because there's not an actual contract B to take to the table back to Ohio State and say, well, this is what this would be here. Let's do this and that and the other thing. So that part, I think, is probably just a bit frustrating for everybody involved, but not to the level that there's any bad blood simmering or any reason not to think that they can't get it done eventually.
Do you think the portal class that we brought in, I mean, I'm sure he had his fingers on, hey, because you're losing 8 starters again on the defensive side. I imagine he had some input on, hey, this is what I would want, if we could go get these guys for my defense, but does that put us in a bind as far as, well, we got these guys to run this sort of defense, so if he were to leave, we got to find somebody who has that same kind of mindset?
It wouldn't be ideal for a number of reasons, Justin, but that's certainly part of it. Ohio State was incredibly fortunate. For all we talk about with the Matt Patricia hiring, I mean, he was sitting there available after the national championship and after the Super Bowl hiring period. He needed a chance to prove himself, and Ryan Day, found and liked and discovered that was going to be a perfect fit that nobody else truly wanted at that time a year ago. I'm not trying. That's not revisionist history, because I know that Matt Patricia has exceeded every reasonable expectation for anyone not named Bobby Carpenter in Columbus. So that was a rare scenario. Now, can Ohio State, with the amount of money, with the talent that is on hand that Matt Patricia has helped assemble over the last month in the transfer portal, would that be a really appealing job to somebody? Of course it would. But starting over again in the middle of February is complicated. There's not just another Matt Patricia laying around. You'd have to really, seek something out. It might be expensive because buyouts and contracts are largely in place across both the college football level and the NFL level. So that's, I think, a little extra reason that, whatever it takes for Ohio State to get it done, I think that they should probably do that without, within reason, without having to break their financial model. And that's, again, not to suggest that they've done anything wrong in the negotiations at this point, because everyone has to continue to look out for their best interests, and they shouldn't be bidding against themselves. But they also certainly do not want to find themselves searching for another coordinator in the month of February.
Austin, appreciate the time, bud. We will do this again soon. Hell, I'll see you on Friday, won't I?
I'll be there on Friday, Football Friday.
There we go. All right, bud. Thanks so much. We'll talk Friday and then again next week. Coming up next, we will wrap things up with what's got you juiced.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You don't want to start the new year off hurting. You don't want to start off the new year getting surgery. You don't want to start off the new year dealing with trying to plan something out into the future. What you want to do is get healthy. So what you want to do is go to my friends over at QC Kinetics. Dr. Tesner and his team, the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, they can deliver regenerative treatments that actually help your body repair the areas that are causing you pain. Those achy knees, hips, back, shoulders, whatever it is, they can help you get ready. So instead of those invasive operations, it's going to sideline you all of the early year. Go check out our friends at QC Kinetics and see if they can help you today. Imagine moving better, being stronger, planning your year, doing what actually you want to do. So don't wait. Call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. They have offices located in Dublin and Gahanna, and they're already there for your free consultation. So go check them out today.
Around the world, Children International and friends like you are giving children in poverty a chance to grow and thrive, to be healthy, to succeed in school, and achieve great things. How do we do it? In the best way possible, by helping ensure access to healthcare, nutrition, and educational opportunities. And most importantly, by empowering youths and their families to get out of poverty and into employment. through life skills, computer, and job training. The very tools they need to break the cycle of poverty and build futures full of promise. Because every child deserves a chance to realize their full and best potential. Learn more about how Children International is empowering children and families by going to children.org today. That's children.org.
You know what hope is? Hope is action. Carving a path forward, even when it's hard.
And kids who still know how to dream. They're the best pathfinders of all.
So at Child Fund, hope means helping millions of children living in poverty worldwide to grow up healthy, educated, skilled, and so all those good things can come true for them. Safe.
And that means safe at home, safe at school, and safe online.
Hope means walking this path together. All of us. Because when we work together, we can do so much more.
That's right. Hope includes you.
Child Fund, because we need each other.
To learn how Child Fund works with children in 23 countries to help them achieve their full potential, visit childfund.org. That's childfund.org.
Tito invited the new Russian family who moved in down the street to watch Rocky IV. It did not go well. I must break you. This is Morning Juice.
Final segment of the program. Bodie, go ahead and hit it.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
I'm hijacking this today, just so you know. And I apologize to both of you in advance that I didn't tell you this before. But I needed today to be a normal show. And I thought if I would have told you what I'm about to tell everybody, it would not have been a normal show. What's got me juiced? My sister Lisa's a rock star. My mom, for the last few years, has lived with Lisa. And within the last 3 months or so, very sick. And Lisa's taken time off work and taken care of my mom and done just countless things for I'm admittedly a very busy person with, wife, kids, multiple jobs and all that. But my sister Lisa, though, put her life on hold to care for my mom. And my mom was in hospice. And last night, Lisa's there with her. I'm on my way over, and my mom passed before I got there. So, and I'm not trying to. I'm okay. I'm okay. I had to come in here and do the show today, and I'm going to come in tomorrow and do the show because I need that kind of normalcy. But my sister did so much. And by the way, Carpenter now and you, Jay-Z, with the dog story last week, trying to follow this. You know what? Touche, my friend. Shoes on the other foot.
Yeah.
No, but so anyway, I'm saying this because I had a difficult relationship with my mom, but we were at peace at the end. And it's very weird that last night, for the first time in damn near 55 years, I went to bed without my mom being on this earth and waking up this morning in the same, like, it's a very surreal feeling. But I'm at that age, and I've got friends that have lost parents, and even Rothman lost his father recently, and it's a very numbing feeling. But I would encourage anybody out there, if you have any unresolved things with your parents or with loved ones, anybody, a friend, figure it out in some way, shape, or form before the end hits. My sister, she frequents Gabby's. If you're ever in Gabby's and Lisa's there, please buy her a drink. She stopped. She went on short-term disability to take care of my mom, and has just been by her side doing all the things that you don't ever want to have to do for another person because of just it's a lot she had to do with it. Now, the fact she's a nurse helped out, but I was with Lisa for a while last night then, and it was it's very I'm really bringing this thing down. It's just a very surreal thing going through this. If you've gone through it, my thoughts and prayers are with you. And if you're going to go through it, I hope that you've got someone as solid as my sister to help you through all of this, because she's done a great job with that. My wife's been a rock star too through this, pushing me to do things that I probably wouldn't have normally done in the last week or so. And so, she's been fantastic as well. Friends that have reached out to me. Also, it's been very, very helpful. But and thank you guys. And I know, look, I don't know the professionalism. I don't know if anybody ever does this, like spring something like that up on the air at the last minute. Oh, hey, by the way.
Well, I did last week, I guess.
I guess you guys did last week.
I started it off.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you did. But anyway, thank you to the juicers also. And I mean that. I say it all the time in the chat, but having you guys around for this ride every day and letting me do this is therapeutic for me. So thank you for that. Hey, who's next?
Yeah, golly. Well, I'm sorry to hear about that, Tito. I was just at my coach's wife's calling hours yesterday and talking with people. It's like, you start to see people and you start doing this a little bit more as you get older, and it's a really sucky part of life that you have to go through, but that was kind of, I wasn't going to bring it up because I brought it down last week, but
right.
Yesterday seeing a lot of old coaches and people that I knew back in high school, made the day a little bit better. So I hung out for 4 hours. I got there right at the start and just massing people coming through, and I just kind of caught up with everybody.
Sure.
So there's something good to come out of that kind of stuff, because you reconnect with a lot of people. But it's just a sad deal. So I'm sorry you're going through that now, and it's been a rough week for the morning juice. The dog went on Friday.
Right.
Calling ours yesterday. You have this. It's an unfortunate part of life. But if you need anything, of course, we're all here for you.
I know. I appreciate that, JT. I do.
Schlegs.
My wife saw through all of that crap when she was 15 years old. Was like, yeah, I'm going to hedge my bets and date that guy.
Perfect.
All right. Yeah, Tito, that's tough, man. I'm really sorry to hear about your loss. I feel very foolish to say the thing I was going to first bring up was, I went to bed at halftime to wake up and see Jaylen Brown had another nice night and push him off the bench. Celtics got the win. That was great. I know. Otherwise, I don't know that I got a lot for you there.
Jaylen Brown had a good one last night.
Yes, he did. He's been rolling. Shout out to Anthony Simons. We did lose him just in a trade. He still
I'm okay with the trade.
The Bulls. He was really good this year, man.
Got him below the tax.
That was the biggest thing.
Out, yeah.
It's like it seemed like it got him out of the first apron.
Right.
And if it's a big if, but if Tatum does come back, Simons maybe became a little bit more what's the word I'm looking for? Like reductive.
Yes.
And replaceable.
Yeah.
Because Tatum would have ate up some of those minutes and shots and ball handling duties and whatnot. So, but yeah, that doesn't feel very important this morning.
I'm going to tell you, I am fine. Okay, I am fine. I certainly shed a lot of tears last night. I'm okay. And I'll tell you a positive thing. Unless you don't like me and don't like the show, then it'd be a negative thing. But the reason I'm here, and one of the big reasons I'm here, when I was in the second grade, my mom, I've told the story on the air before, but so forgive me. She put me in for a lottery for an alternative school. It's called Douglas Alternative Elementary School over on Broad Street. And I lived nowhere near downtown. I mean, like a 15-minute drive, 20-minute drive. Anyway, so she put me in that. It's a school that was more based on that had a lot of attention, pay a lot of attention to the arts and things like. That's where I was on the square dancing team. Anyway, that's
is that real?
Traveling square dancing team. Yes, I was. At fourth grade. Ellen Sarin was my partner. Nonetheless, and I got in through the lottery. They had a spot open up halfway through my second grade year. And I was going to be bused for the first time. I always walked to school, neighborhood school and all that stuff before that. And no one in my neighborhood went to Douglas. Like, I was the only person probably within like a 3-mile radius of my home at the time as a second grader, which is a huge radius that went to Douglas. And so, anyway, I remember she took me to school there the first day, and I was just bawling. I was scared to death. I remember her being next to me, consoling me on the steps to go into the room about, it'll be okay and all this. And I sat there and cried. I probably was for an hour before I finally walked into the classroom. And so she was there for me for that. And by the way, on top of that, looking back now, let's just think about this now. My mom, R.I.P., either she wanted me to go there or she wanted me to get home an hour later from school and go to school an hour earlier because of the damn bus ride. So I'm not sure. I started thinking about that last night. I was like, you know what? Maybe my mom was just being very crafty. Maybe she was just being smart.
She's getting that 2 extra hours a day.
Exactly. Two Tito free hours a day.
Yes.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Anyway, but the school though, it wasn't, and I don't know what it's like now, if it's still the same way, but I was traditional rows of desks, teacher up front. That's all it was. Teacher teaches, you listen, you learn, that kind of thing. And at Douglas, it was much more open spaces, open tables with like 4, 5, 6 chairs around them. And there was no like teacher in front of you all day. They had like a thing where you had to do jobs. You had like 20 jobs to finish each day. And you go and look at the index card and see what it was, and whatever it was, you had to go do that task and get through your jobs for the day. Well, anyway, what I'm getting to now is the fact there was a focus on the arts. There were a lot of times that I could, I remember we did a project where we had to form a paper football league, and we had to keep track of standings and percentages, points for, points against. We had to schedule games. We did like some recordings of like a kind of a mini Sports Center type of thing back then, before Sports Center was a thing, where we would like have to get into a tape recorder with a microphone and kind of just announce, like, in this week's game, so-and-so, whatever. It had to mimic all of that. We had to make almost like a newspaper thing to send out to people. And so all those things got me involved in media and gave me a lot of confidence about talking. And so because of that fact, because I was able to go through all of that and do those things, it certainly helped shape me into this. The teachers I was exposed to there, and I still stay in contact a little bit with a couple of them, and how much that school meant to me. And I know it was driven by my mom, because she saw something in me that I don't think maybe other people didn't see, but it certainly helped me out, though, to gain confidence to do what I'm doing today. And it's all because of just that chance my mom puts me in a lottery, maybe because she wanted me home that much. We're not sure yet. Or maybe it was some other reason.
She knew she was setting you up for a job now all these years later.
Yeah, and so I'm very grateful to her for that. And so that's, I guess that's just a weird story I was thinking of. But it's interesting how the way certain small things happen in this world, fate-wise, and how what the decisions, and it sounds like a movie or something like that. I'm not trying to sound that way, but the decisions that we make, though, and how it shapes so many different lives into what we're doing. But I don't know, Bodie. What else got me juiced? I don't know. We've got like 6 minutes to kill here now, and I'm already spent.
Yeah.
Did we talk about Lions fans suing?
No.
I don't think we did.
DK
off
Metcalf?
air we did, yes.
Yes, we did off the air. The fan for the Lions who was in it with DK Metcalf, and Metcalf goes over and smacks him. He is suing DK Metcalf and others, I don't know who the others are, for $100 million.
Just the city of Pittsburgh.
Just
yeah,
in
city
general.
of Pittsburgh.
Suing
Bringing
life.
them down.
Yes. So I find it interesting. Patrick wants to talk about the Westminster Kennel Club dog. He's been in the chat all week asking us.
Been firing off about that. I did just see it pop up on the news.
It was on there, yeah.
I know.
Who won?
I couldn't tell you. Honestly,
now,
it was on the TV, and I
Patrick
still
said he thinks a Doberman won for the first time.
Oh. First time? Okay.
You know why? Because the Doberman said, I'm winning. Who's going to challenge that Doberman, right?
No dog at that show.
No. Anyway, so if you remember correctly, the news came. DK Metcalf said that this fan for the Lions had used a racial slur, and he didn't. Or, sorry, I got to be careful how I say this. It hasn't been proven that he has. But he's saying that right there has cost him, financially, it's cost him his reputation and all these things. And so it's a defamation lawsuit for $100 million. Yes, it was a Doberman named Penny won it.
Penny.
He said he grew up showing bulldogs.
Bulldogs?
I guess so.
All right.
Anyway, so I know there are all kinds of frivolous lawsuits that go on. Unless there's some kind of, I'd have to see what exactly. First of all, you're an idiot for taunting a football player. Let's start with that. That should cost you $10 million personally, right there, just doing that.
It's about 50,000 people in a stadium every
but
weekend.
not to that extent, though. Not to go down there.
Yeah.
It's really
try and get in
not,
somebody's face and like really get their attention.
Yeah, it's really not that hard to act like an adult when you go to these games.
Right.
Honestly.
I don't know.
Well,
It's
for
pretty
some
hard
people,
for some
I guess.
people.
But it's just like I've been to a lot of football games over the years. I'd argue that my level of caring about the result is probably up there with anybody. Yeah. And I've never, ever once been like, let me run down to the field.
Thought about like fighting somebody or like going down the field. That never came into your mind, buddy? Like,
now,
what?
Tito, I did tell that old woman to
I know you
shut
did.
her mouth.
You
But
did.
I didn't fight her.
No, but
I just told her to stand up.
Yeah, if she
That's
wouldn't
all.
have.
Or she could stay home.
Well, that's a different kind of problem, though. You know? Like, well, we're in a stadium right
and
now.
First of all, that's an old lady. Like I would have no problem doing that. If I'm saying like somebody my own size or close to my size, I'm probably gonna pipe down.
I knew if we had to fight, I
Yeah,
felt
you had
confident.
that. Yeah.
But like Justin, have you? We've heard the stories before from you about like when you switch schools, high schools, and some of the crap you guys endured.
Oh, yeah.
But in a game, do you remember hearing very often people yelling at you?
Oh, I remember being booed in a spring game.
Well, I tell you, this What's Got You Juice segment has really returned where it
they
used
were
to
booing
be.
the team, not just me, but maybe I was a quarterback. I don't know.
Okay.
It was windy and sleety and rainy and terrible. Everybody was mad that day.
Now it's awkward. It was a dumb question by me because it really couldn't go well. He's going to remember that. And the fact, did you see the look on his face when he remembered the spring game thing? Like, first, like, oh, no,
I was carved about that spring game.
wait.
It was the worst spring game ever.
Was it really?
Oh, it was like 30, 32 degrees,
Right.
like just windy and sleet. And back then we played 4 quarters.
Yeah.
It's just like we were out there all
It was a
day.
game,
right?
Miserable. Huh?
Oh, yeah, those spring games like that are the worst, though.
It was
and if it's bad weather and not a great product,
Yeah. It was ugly all the way around.
I don't think I've ever been mad enough or man enough. No, man's the wrong word. Immature enough. Same thing. To like yell at a player like that. Like, even from the stands.
That's why, I mean, the first game I sat in as a fan,
right?
I had to leave by halftime. Because they were just all yelling at people.
Right.
And I'm like, you guys have no idea what's going on right now.
Right.
I was like, I got to get out of here or I'm going to say something to somebody.
I don't even have it in me to boo.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
been my
either.
own team.
No.
Like, nah, man.
Just
Like, you guys are playing like crap. This sucks. I'm
Right.
not happy about
Right,
it.
yeah.
I feel
But
like those are
I'm
all
not
people
gonna
that
boo.
I mean, this may be bad, but they didn't play sports or they hadn't been through
Right.
that kind of thing before. And it's just like when you do it, it's like, all right, that stinks, but
Right.
it happens. It's sports.
It's not like they're not out there trying.
Exactly.
I feel pretty comfortable saying that. Pick your player, Julian, saying it's trying to play his best. I'm guessing he's not out there just throwing picks for the fun of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I can't believe it does anything to improve the psyche or performance of the team.
I
You know what
wouldn't
I mean?
think so.
It's
Yeah.
like, why would you want your team to win? They're not playing well, so you're going to tell them, hey, you guys suck?
Yeah.
Oh, it's a 3-and-out. You're just going to boo them?
Right, yeah, exactly.
3-and-outs
Right.
happened. I'm
Right.
sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
Except Belisari.
shouldn't,
I
though.
did
Yeah,
boo
they should.
Belisari a couple times, but that's okay.
Wow.
That's anyway. Folks, thanks so much for tuning in. Thanks for being each and every day. Thank you, Jay-Z. Thank you, Bodie, Mike Eruzione, Austin Ward, all you guys. We appreciate it. Well, yeah, exactly. We are back tomorrow. The same